So tonight, we're throwing safety right out the window. No seatbelt. Alright, so welcome back. So now you've seen kind of what I'm up to. So I've already got the engine and transmission out, and I really don't want to go lay on the ground outside yet to clean it. So I started on the interior because I do have boom mat and I guess some other pieces that will go in the inside. And this really needs to be cleaned out before I really do too much more. I want to make sure everything's good foundationally. So the thing I don't like about buying used 30-something-year-old sunroof cars is they leak. So thankfully I've picked up everything off the floor. You can see all of the original stuff just chunked up. This is the old asphalt sound deadener. Most of it's really just come up. It wasn't even really stuck anymore, so probably sound like hell going down the road, but most of it's actually come up. So I took all the interior out, obviously. Seats, as soon as I pulled that rear seat cushion up, oh, the smell. Oh, the smell. Mice have been in here, and you know what mice do. So all that's gone out. Thankfully, the stink has gone out. It just smells like kind of oily dirt. But the under the seat here, obviously, I knew this was leaking up here on the sunroof. And, well, thankfully, it's not rusted through. It's got a lot of surface rust on it. But I think with the wire wheel and just taking my time on it, stripping it all off, and then hitting it with some rust inhibitor, I think I'll kill all the rust off that's there if I can't get it all off just with a wire wheel. But so far so good. Really, it's coming off pretty nice. So that'll be done. I've got to strip all that out. I could obviously, this is all the extra wiring that somebody put in for an aftermarket stereo. That thankfully is gone. Carpet, let's just say it was as black on the bottom as it was on top. So that's gone, thankfully. And everything else is going to be peachy keen. So once I get this done and cleaned up, vacuumed out, I'll wipe it down inside and out, top to bottom, and then I've got to start on the interior. So I'm going to work on this first and then go up to that. All right, guys, so after taking all that out and I've got a bunch of rust, I've now been working on it a lot. And I used a cordless drill with just a wire wheel on it, kind of like a wire cone, I guess you'd call it. So I've got all the rust taken out that I'm going to take out now. I'm getting ready to spray it. So I'll show you the results here, as you can kind of see. So hold on one second. So here's kind of the driver's side floor. You can see now kind of up over here, over in this area, there's actually some cracks in the floor that I'm going to have to put holes in the end, just drill a hole, and then just seal those up and weld them. If I pull over to the driver's side, again, you can kind of see down in here, all of that is cracked. Same thing. Pretty common to Fox bodies so there. And then if I go to the back, just kind of show you, you can see there's still a slight tinge, kind of an orangish tinge on a couple pieces. Now those there I'm going to continue to work on a little bit. And then I'm going to spray with some spray for rust inhibitor. Alright, so here's the rust transformer I'm going to use. This is the stuff I bought for the 92 from Summit. Basically, you're just going to spray this on to the areas, and it's going to attack only the stuff that has rust on it. So the thing to keep in mind, once you spray that on, it's only going to go after the rust. So if you have rust, yeah, it's great. What you'll find is if you let it sit 24 hours, which I did last time, is that it's not only going to attack the rust. When you go to touch the metal, it's going to be sticky. And you're going to think, what is wrong with this stuff? Well, it's just not that into metal. So it's only going to attack rust. The great thing is once it's cured after about 24 hours somewhere in there, you can then just go through with just a wet cloth and it's going to wipe right off. So take like some window cleaner, just whatever you want, on a paper towel, disposable, wipe the rest off. Now if you have basic metal or I guess fresh metal like I'm going to have, just hit it with some epoxy or some, now I'm losing my mind here, but just hit it with some bare metal etching primer. That's going to stop it from re-rusting, and then you've got the rust that's there cured. Kind of like curing cancer in a can, if it were that easy. Okay, so here's the area sprayed. Now, this is the passenger well. You can kind of see back in here, it's a lot of black, some purple on that. So the purple itself is the stuff that it goes on like clear coat. It's clear, but for bare metal on that, it's going to react and go purple. More purple means less rust. So the blacker it is, something like this stuff here, where it's all black, that means that had rust in it. Same thing on the back here, you can see most of this is really kind of purplish, but it does have a lot of black in it. And this is the rear passenger seat. That means I had a lot of rust back there, which I knew. If I go to the driver's side, again, more purple is less rust. So a lot of black in there. I showed you before where the whole area had surface rust. So I've hit that with a wire brush. And not too bad really, honestly. So once I'm going to let that cure for about 24 hours, maybe 48 till I get back to it. But then I can go through and scrub off anything that's not attached to rust. And all the purple should come back off, and you'll see just either a bare metal or a slightly covered surface. Alright guys, so I've let the rust inhibitor sit 24 hours, so it has cured. It's dry, no issues with it. Now, like I said, the inhibitor is only going to stick to the rust. So if you look at the floor pan here, there's a whole lot of gray and not a lot of purple left. So I've just taken some simple glass cleaner, which is enough, sprayed it significantly across that, and then just use kind of like a blue paper towel here. Wipe all that extra off. Now, the only reason I'm wiping it off, and you may not even care to, is because I'm going to put some DEI boom mat down, and I need a good surface to where it's not going to adhere to that and pull right off. So I'll clean that off just with some towel. Now, be warned, this stuff will stain clothes, so kind of wear gloves. I've got these, just some nitrile gloves or nitrile gloves on, and comes off with a paper towel, throw it away, you're done. Did the back seat here, you can see it's a little bit darker because I did have a little more rust there sitting under the seat. And I also did do the driver floor well, and it's got some more black than compared to this, but I know it's all done and it's cleaned up too. So kind of what you can't see, well, hold on one second, I'll show you. So as you can see here, the dash is gone. So I did manage to get the dash skin out, most of the main beam itself, and there's a whole lot of screws in that. So if you have a owner's manual or a service manual on that, try to follow it if you can. I just basically went until I got every screw out and it came out easily, which is a pain in the butt. But as you can see, this thing is a wiring mess. This car has almost 0 options on it, but the amount of wires that previous owners put in here is scary. I mean, this is a push button starter because probably the ignition switch needed to be changed and nobody was smart enough or I don't know, had enough ambition to change it, which is kind of crazy. There's just wires cut everywhere, hoses that don't work, zip ties. It's all going to come out and start over from scratch to make sure it all works right. So that'll be a future project to get the rest of this out. I mean, it's down to basically just some bolts. And since there's no engine, everything should pull right out. So I'm going to finish that up. And I think that's it. So next will be welding up the floor. I want to do that before I start putting in a headliner in so I don't burn it up. And I've also got to fix the compressor. I mentioned that it blew the motor in it, so I ordered one today. And that'll be up on the channel. I don't know if it's going to be before or after this, but at least know it's going to be out there if you ever have to change one. So that's it from this time. I got a couple things left. And so I will put up links in the description down below to everything I've tried to use in this. Simple stuff up through the rust inhibitor. If I can find it online, I'm sure I can through the website. So I'll put up there if you guys have questions of what I used or you want to know what I used or anything else. And I think that's it for today. So we're trucking on the project. Pretty soon we're going to be at kind of a ground zero point and building this sucker back up for this year. And that's it. We'll see you next time.